Many sellers are canceling their listings and waiting for the market to shift. But why? Have you noticed that there are more homes being pulled off the market lately? And why would so many people go through the hassle of listing their home and then to cancel it? Today, I'm going to break down why canceled listings are on the rise, the strategies behind it, and what it means for buyers and sellers in the next few months to come. First, let's look at the numbers. Here in Ontario, approximately about 35% of listings were canceled in September. That's a pretty big jump from the usual 25%. And it's not just Ontario. According to economist Darren King of National Bank Financial Markets, we're seeing a similar trend across Canada. Normally, it's around 15% of listings that get canceled, but right now it's up to about 24%. So what's going on? Sellers seem to think that they're going to get a better price if they wait until more interest rate come down. With rates expected to drop more, they're playing the waiting game. Many sellers are wanting to hold off until they see more market momentum. They're thinking that they're going to get better offers when market conditions will improve. We're seeing a trend from both buyers and sellers hoping for better conditions in the next few months, especially with more potential interest rate cuts. I think as long as the news and the central bank keeps saying that there will be more interest cuts, that's going to continue to make people hold off. Welcome back today, and if you're new here, welcome. And you know how the algorithm works, so I can share more market updates and tips like this one. Please subscribe and hit the bell. And also drop me a comment or any questions. I will personally respond to each one. Now, canceling a listing isn't something that every seller can afford to do. For a lot of these sellers, canceling means that they're in a pretty solid financial position. They don't need to sell urgently. So they're choosing to wait for the chance to sell at a better price. But it's not a sure thing. Waiting could mean selling for a higher price maybe, but what you buy could also cost more. It's all about timing the market. And some of our clients, they've already bought, another property and maybe from pre-construction a while back, or they have a low or no mortgage on their current home, so they don't have to sell right now. And they're prepared to wait. And there's, waiting to see if the market will improve in the next few months. Usually for detached homes with a bigger price tag, say 1.5 million or more, this may make sense because buyers right now are very price sensitive these days. They're looking for good deals. And we're seeing less buyer demand in certain areas of the city for houses that are more expensive, like 1.6 million or more. Let's talk about the strategy behind cancel then relisting, which has become a bit of a trend here. It's pretty normal in our market to see that. And here's how it works. Instead of just lowering the price on an existing listing, a lot of agents cancel it and then they relist it as a new listing at a lower price. Because when a property shows up as a new listing, it can attract more buyer attention. By relisting, the property shows up online with 0 days or a couple of days on the market, which can prevent it from looking stale to potential buyers. It's a very common strategy. It's especially significant when there's a big price change involved. This tactic is really popular and useful in competitive markets like in the Toronto area. But it's not for every situation. Agents usually recommend this if there's a price drop that's significant enough to make a fresh impression. And it's typically more than just a few $1,000s. Or perhaps they have tried a lower price point like $9.99 with an offers date to drum up multiple offers. And if they don't get that higher price that they were looking for and the sellers have rejected all the offers, then they will relist the property at a higher price that's more in line with market value or what the sellers are hoping to get. Another major factor that's influencing both buyers and sellers is the expectation that interest rates will decrease in the near future, likely bringing more activity back to the market. Sellers and buyers, they're both watching rates so closely right now. Sellers are canceling, maybe hoping to relist when rates drop further. And buyers, on the other hand, are waiting for those rate drops too to make their move. It's like a chicken and egg problem right now that we're seeing in the market. And I just posted a video this week about the October market stats, and there is a 12% higher home sales than a month ago. So that's right after the jumbo rate cut of 50 basis points that was announced just 3 weeks ago. So that's a sign, I think, of market shift. Now, there is another group of people who are waiting, first-time home buyers. With new mortgage regulations coming in December, the maximum amortization for insured mortgages will be 30 years, which would make it easier for first-time home buyers to qualify. This change is expected to bring more first-time buyers into the market because monthly payments will become more manageable. And many of them are holding off until this goes into effect in the month of December. And they're also hoping that interest rates will be even lower by then as well. So that would mean lower monthly payments or even able to afford a slightly more expensive home. They're going to have more buying power. On top of this, there's going to be another new change. That's the cap for mortgage insurance. It's going to rise from $1 million to $1.5 million houses. This will allow more buyers in high-priced areas to qualify, so such as in the city of Toronto or Mississauga or Oakville, and this could nudge prices slightly higher in these areas where a larger number of buyers could now qualify. So what does this all mean for the market next spring? Experts think that we might see a real jump in activity, and many experts expect interest rates to fall further and more buyers to return. And this could potentially drive up more demand in key markets. And I do tend to agree. There are already signs that the market is starting to shift. And if we get more rate cuts in the next few months, by early spring, it will be a very different market dynamics. It doesn't necessarily mean a big price jump, but definitely there will be more buyer's demand, more showings for houses, and perhaps even more multiple offers again. We're already noticing like an uptake in calls and more interest. We're seeing a low number of multiple offers on the more affordable houses, segments like detached or semi-detached that's selling for the high 500s to 600s outside the GTA. And then there are more sales of houses around 900,000 to $1 million or just over $1 million across the city. That seems to be a sweet spot right now. There are some buyers who are jumping off the fence a little bit more, but not as much as there will be in the spring when the interest rate come down even further. And who knows, maybe by next spring, some home buyers who were on the fence, they might say, oh, I should have bought in the fall or in the winter time. Because we know that typically home prices go up more in the spring market. And we have seen this consistently, higher average prices during the spring market for the past 4 consecutive years, even when we saw 10 rounds of interest hikes. So what's the takeaway here? Many sellers are playing the waiting game, and they're able to do that because they have financial flexibility. Buyers, on the other hand, many of them are waiting for lower interest rates and new mortgage rules to work in their favor. Remember, timing the market is always a bit of a gamble. It's impossible to predict the future. The best time to move is when you're financially prepared and it's the right time for you and your family. Like I saw in my last video of the GTA market update, it's a pretty balanced market right now. And there's more choice and it's easier for home buyers to get a good deal and negotiate price and conditions. I'm not sure how long this will last because this is Toronto, guys. And there is a lot of pent-up demand with people that have been holding off for a long time to make a move. Thank you so much for watching today. And as always, I would love to connect with you. So feel free to drop me a text or a phone call. My number is below and I would be happy to have a quick chat with you and help you with your situation.